So we have 4 students who are actually going to be speaking to us. And just to kind of frame this up, back in October, I was invited to their classroom where we undertook a discussion on what should be the official ice cream of the state of Oregon. And we had an appointed representative, an appointed senator, we had an appointed governor, we had a representative of the Supreme Court, we had a representative from government relations, a citizen, and a newspaper journalist who were all participating. And after that event, I asked them if they'd be willing to come and share their thoughts on what should be the official ice cream of Oregon. And so we just have four speakers. And so Lennox, would you like to go first?
Sure.
And I have to open up the informational hearing. I've got to follow the rules. And Lennox, what I need you to do is if you would introduce yourself, because we're going to put you in the official Oregon record. And so I need your first and last name, and then share with us what you'd like us to know.
Go ahead.
Good afternoon, committee members. Thank you very much for inviting our class to speak to you today. My name is Lennox Cook. We are excited to share what we have learned about the procedures you all go through in your decision-making process. This is what we learned about the process of how a bill becomes a law when Representative Smith came to our classroom and taught us to. First, a citizen comes up with an idea. For example, we thought vanilla ice cream should become the official state ice cream flavor of Oregon. We believe that because many people like it. Another reason is it goes well on every dessert. It is also good during any time of the year. It is even good in the winter, and it's really good in the summer on a hot day. Then the idea goes to the House of Representatives or the Senate. And they write it into a bill. Next, the House and the Senate vote to approve or veto the bill. If it gets approved, the governor signs the bill into a law or could veto the bill. I'm so thankful that Representative Smith came to our classroom and taught us a lesson about how a bill becomes a law.
Lennox, thank you very much for your testimony. We appreciate it. The next student we're going to call is Oakley. Are you there, Oakley? If you could introduce your first name and your last name, and then you share with us what you'd want us to know.
My name is Oakley Barrows. Thank you for this opportunity to share with you what I learned when Representative Smith came to Stanfield Elementary School in November. He had us act out a play about how a bill becomes a law, and I was the senator. When the representative and the citizen came to me, I said, I like strawberry ice cream more than vanilla ice cream. When Representative Smith came to me and said they chose you to be their senator and they want vanilla ice cream. Then I switched it back to vanilla ice cream. Then all 3 of us, the representative, citizen, and I went to the governor. He said, I want it to be vanilla ice cream. Then the newspaper told this information to the public. The class, we decided on vanilla ice cream. At the end, he taught us how much money it costs to run the school. I'm so glad that Representative Smith came to my class to teach me about a very important lesson and about how a bill becomes a law.
Awesome. Thank you, Oakley, for your strong words. So, Ellie, how are you doing?
Good.
Good. Would you share your first and last name, and then you share with us what you would want us to know?
Okay. Hello, my name is Ellie Ramirez. When Representative Smith came to Stanford Elementary in the 7th class, he came and taught us about how a bill becomes a law. For an example, we think the official ice cream flavor of Oregon should be vanilla. Also, here are some things Representative Smith taught us about how a bill becomes a law. First, he talked about how he goes to Salem for 6 months each year. Then he brought up students in front of the class for a role play. There's a citizen that comes up with an idea, and the citizen has to take the idea to the representative or the senator. If they approve, then it becomes a bill. Next, the governor vetoes it or says yes. The newspaper informs the citizen of the discussion. Then my favorite part was when the explanation was happening and the discussions about how a bill becomes a law. Also, I was a newspaper person, and I had to explain the things that were going on. Then I had to go to the discussions that they were having. So I had to say the parts that they were discussing. In conclusion, that's what Representative Smith taught us about how a bill becomes a law. Also, I would never forget this moment with Representative Smith taught us about how a bill becomes a law.
Thank you, Ellie. And just for the record, I want Mr. Phil Wright from the East Oregonian to know we had a journalist at our hearings here. Okay, Lakeland, why don't you share with us, and then we'll begin to wrap this up. And you just have to share with us your first and last name, and then you can share with us whatever you want us to know.
Okay. Hello, I am Lakeland Avila. Rep. Smith, you taught us how a bill becomes a law, and here are some things that I remembered from that lesson. The first thing you did was introduce yourself so we know who you are. Then you called people up to act out how a bill becomes a law. There you had characters like citizen, senator, judge, representative, and others. First, the citizen needs an idea. Then the citizen tells the senator or representative. Next, the representative will make the idea into a bill. Finally, the representative takes the bill to the governor. Then the governor can veto the bill or say yes to the bill. After we acted it out, you let us ask questions. I even remember what my question was. It was, can we make root beer float, the official dessert of Oregon? Thank you, Rep. Smith, for coming over to our classroom in Stanfield School to teach us how a bill becomes a law. And thank you for letting us join you today.
Awesome. Thank you, Lakeland. So, colleagues, those are our four student speakers today from Stanfield. I want to thank their fabulous teacher, Shanna Evans. And class, why don't you have a wonderful day? And thank you so much for participating in the Oregon State Capitol. So,
Thank you.
have a good day.
You
Okay, okay, gang. Bye-bye, gang.
Mr. Chairman, you do see the I Love Beavers sign there in the back.
That's right.
Good man. Yeah, good observation.
I'm sorry Senator Hansel wasn't here to see that.
All right, so gang, thank you very much for